I was standing in my bathroom this morning, just staring at the counter, and it honestly looked like a graveyard.
A graveyard. That is a bit dark for a Tuesday morning.
No, seriously, a graveyard of half-used bottles. It's the psoriasis graveyard.
Ah, I know that graveyard well.
You've got the steroid creams, the medicated shampoos that smell like tar, the lotions that promise the moon and, deliver nothing.
Right.
You buy something, you have high hopes, you use it for 3 days, and then you realize it either burns like fire or ruins your clothes. So it gets pushed to the back of the shelf to die.
That is the universal experience for anyone dealing with chronic skin issues. It's not just the condition that's exhausting, it's the management of the condition.
It is.
You are constantly choosing between effectiveness and misery.
Right. It's the dilemma. Do I want to stop the itch, or do I want to be able to go out in public without grease stains on my shirt? But today, we are looking at a stack of research from Era Organics that claims we might be able to clear out that graveyard. We're doing a deep dive into a molecule called hypochlorous acid, or HOCl.
And then I know what everyone is thinking immediately. Acid.
Oh, yeah.
You hear that word and you think chemical burn. You think harsh peeling.
Exactly. If my skin is already cracked, bleeding, and angry, the last thing I want to hear is acid.
Of course.
But the source material throws a curveball right at the start. It says this isn't some synthetic compound cooked up in a lab to burn off your skin layers. It says we're already full of it.
We are, and that is the hook. This isn't a new invention, it's a discovery of something ancient. Hypochlorous acid is naturally produced by your own white blood cells, specifically the neutrophils.
Okay.
It is the raw ammunition your immune system uses to fight infection.
Okay, let's unpack that. My white blood cells are manufacturing this stuff? But why? What is its biological function?
Think of it as the body's first responder. When you get a cut, a scrape, or an infection, your white blood cells rush to the site. They undergo a process called the oxidative burst.
Oxidative bursts.
They literally create a burst of HOCl to kill the invading pathogen, bacteria, virus, whatever it is. It destroys the invader's cell wall almost instantly.
So it's a killer. It's a disinfectant.
It is a lethal disinfectant to microbes. But, and this is the insight you need to hold on to, it is completely harmless to mammalian cells. Human cells.
Oh, is that possible? I mean, usually if something kills bacteria like bleach or alcohol, it kills everything. It's scorched earth.
It is.
If I pour rubbing alcohol on a cut, I know I'm killing the bacteria, but I also know I'm killing my own cells because it hurts like crazy.
That's the magic of biology. Our cells have evolved specific enzymes that can neutralize HOCl instantly so it doesn't hurt us.
But bacteria don't have those.
Bacteria don't have those enzymes. So to a staph bacteria, HOCl is a death sentence. To your skin cells, it's just water.
That is a wild distinction. So we're talking about a molecule that is an assassin for the bad guys and a ghost to the good guys.
Perfectly put. It differentiates between self and non-self.
Okay, so I get the mechanism.
Right.
But why are we talking about this for psoriasis? Psoriasis is an autoimmune issue, right? It's not an infection.
Right.
Why do we need a disinfectant for something that's coming from inside the body?
This is where the Era Organics data gets really interesting, and it changes how we view the condition. We tend to think of psoriasis as just dry skin or overactive skin. But there is a secondary villain in the story, the microbiome.
You mean the bacteria living on the plaque itself?
Exactly. Psoriasis plaques are often colonized by Staphylococcus aureus staph bacteria.
Right.
Think about it. The skin barrier is broken, it's warm, it's inflamed. It is a playground for bacteria. And here's the kicker. That bacterial overgrowth acts as a super antigen.
A super antigen.
It triggers the immune system to attack even harder.
Wait, so it's a vicious cycle. The psoriasis breaks the skin, the bacteria moves in, the bacteria freaks out the immune system, and the immune system makes the psoriasis worse.
Correct. It amplifies the inflammation. The bacteria are essentially pouring gas on the fire. So if you can knock out that bacterial load without irritating the skin further, you break the cycle. That is where HOCl shines.
It kills the bacteria fueling the fire, but unlike alcohol, it doesn't burn the skin that's trying to heal.
Exactly.
That's the part I want to drill down on, the sensation. Because the sources keep emphasizing non-stinging. But come on, if I have an open fissure on my elbow, everything stings. Even water sometimes stings.
It's a valid skepticism, but chemically, HOCl is neutral. It has a pH that is almost identical to the skin's natural pH.
Okay.
When you apply alcohol, it dehydrates the exposed nerve endings. That's the sting. Peroxide causes a violent chemical reaction. HOCl doesn't do either.
So the claim is I could spray this on a raw, open flare-up and it would feel like Nothing.
Like a gentle mist of water.
Wow.
That is the consensus in the data. And for compliance, actually getting people to use their medication, that is everything.
Yeah, if it hurts, I'm not doing it. I don't care how well it works. If I have to brace myself against the sink counter before applying it, that bottle is staying in the drawer.
Precisely. Pain is a barrier to treatment.
Let's talk about the daily grind of this, because psoriasis isn't just the acute flare-ups, it's the Tuesday morning routine. The
Yeah.
sources mention barrier support.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when we talk about disinfectants, we're talking about stripping the barrier. You wash your hands with antibacterial soap, they get dry. How is this different?
It comes back to that oxidative burst mechanism versus a solvent mechanism. Solvents like alcohol or harsh soaps strip away the lipids, the oils that hold your skin cells together.
They physically remove the grease.
They do. HOCl acts chemically on the bacteria itself. It doesn't dissolve oil.
So it leaves my natural moisture alone.
It leaves the lipid barrier intact. And actually, by reducing the inflammation, it helps the skin repair that barrier faster.
Okay, so it's not a moisturizer.
Let's be clear, it doesn't add oil, but it prepares the canvas for healing without stripping it down first.
Okay, but I have to play devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
If this stuff is natural and my body makes it and it's so safe, why can I buy it in a bottle? I mean, if it's just a molecule, does it expire? Does it turn back into water?
That's a great question.
Why haven't I seen this at the drugstore for the last 20 years?
That is a fantastic question, and it's actually the reason you haven't seen this everywhere until recently. HOCl is notoriously unstable.
Ah, there's a catch.
Inside the body, it's made on demand. It exists for a split second, kills the bacteria, and it's gone. For a long time, if you tried to put it in a bottle, it would degrade into salt water within hours or days.
You'd be buying a very expensive bottle of saline.
Exactly. But the technology behind stabilizing HOCl has leaped forward. The Era Organics source highlights that they have a shelf-stable formulation. They use a specific electrolysis process to create a stable solution that stays potent for months or years. That is the game changer. We can finally bottle the lightning.
That makes sense. So don't try to make this in your bathtub.
Please do not. You will likely just make bleach, which is the opposite of what we want. The pH balance has to be precise.
Speaking of bleach, let's touch on safety. The listeners are going to be spraying this daily, maybe multiple times a day. Is there a toxicity buildup, like with steroids, where your skin thins out if you use them too much?
No, and that is the biggest advantage over topical steroids. Steroids are amazing, but they have a biological cost.
Right. Skin thinning, tolerance buildup.
Topical steroid withdrawal. HOCl has known toxicity ceiling. Because your body naturally metabolizes it, you can't really overdose on it topically.
So I can use it for maintenance, not just emergencies.
Yes. And that is the shift in mindset. Instead of waiting for a flare-up and bombing it with steroids, you use HOCl daily to keep the bacterial load low and the skin calm, potentially preventing the flare-up from starting.
I want to pivot to a specific nightmare scenario for psoriasis patients. The scalp.
The scalp is the final boss of skin conditions.
It really is. I mean, you can hide a patch on your leg, you can bandage an arm, you cannot easily treat your scalp without looking like a grease ball.
Yeah.
And the itching, it's maddening.
And the traditional treatments for scalp psoriasis are inelegant.
Inelegant is a polite way to put it. Coal tar shampoos smell like a road paving crew.
They do.
Ointments stick your hair together. And if you have color-treated hair, forget it. You're scared to put anything strong on it.
That fear is valid. People hear acid and think bleach. They think their highlights are going to turn orange or their hair will break off.
The HOCl bleach hair. I feel like listeners need a definitive answer on this.
No, the source material is very explicit on this. HOCl is color safe. It does not strip hair dye, and it does not weaken the keratin protein strand.
How? It's an oxidizer, isn't it? Doesn't oxidation bleach color?
It is a mild oxidizer, but it targets specific proteins in cell walls of bacteria. It doesn't have the brute strength to break down the complex dye molecules or the hair shaft structure like hydrogen peroxide or chlorine bleach would.
Selective.
It is. It's very selective.
Okay, so my vanity is safe. What about the grease factor?
Non-existent. It dries like water. You can spray it directly onto the roots, let it dry, and style your hair. No residue, no sticky clumps.
That's huge, because if I have to wash my hair every time I treat my scalp, I'm just not going to treat my scalp. It's too much work.
Convenience is compliance. But there's another benefit for the scalp that we shouldn't overlook: odor.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Scalp psoriasis can have a specific smell.
It's a musty scent. That isn't the skin itself, that is the metabolic waste of the bacteria and fungus living in the plaques.
Right.
Because HOCl neutralizes those microbes, it eliminates the odor almost instantly. It's a deodorizer that actually removes the source of the smell rather than masking it.
So it's not just perfume covering up the issue, it's cleaning house.
Exactly. And while we are comparing it to other things, we need to address the elephant in the room, the bottle people probably already have under their sink.
Hydrogen peroxide. The brown bottle.
The brown bottle.
I think we have been conditioned to love hydrogen peroxide because of the fizz. You pour it on a scrape, it foams up white, and you think, oh, look at it go. It's working so hard.
It is the placebo effect of visual violence. We think the fizz means healing.
So what is the fizz, really?
The fizz is oxygen being ripped away violently. Hydrogen peroxide is a non-selective oxidizer. It bombs everything. When you see that foam, it's not just killing bacteria. It is destroying your fibroblasts.
Fibroblasts, those are the cells that build new skin.
Yes. They are the construction crew. Hydrogen peroxide kills the construction crew. So yes, the wound is clean, but now you have delayed healing and increased scarring.
And for psoriasis?
It is catastrophic. Psoriasis is already inflamed. Peroxide adds chemical burn to the inflammation. It dries the skin out aggressively. If you use peroxide on a psoriasis plaque, you are essentially guaranteeing it will crack and bleed more.
So HOCl versus hydrogen peroxide. Who wins?
In a clinical setting for wound care and chronic skin management, HOCl wins every time. It's the sniper versus the nuke.
That's a good way to put it.
The sniper takes out the bad guy. The nuke takes out the whole city block.
And the nuke fizzes, so we applaud it.
Exactly. Don't be seduced by the fizz.
Okay, so we've covered psoriasis in the scalp. But the source material calls HACl a Swiss Army knife. What else can I use this for? Because if I'm buying a bottle, I want to know if it does other tricks.
The beauty of the mechanism killing microbes and reducing inflammation is that it applies to almost anything red and angry on your skin. The report mentions eczema significantly.
Eczema is the cousin of psoriasis.
The itch that rashes. Eczema is highly susceptible to staph bacteria as well. In fact, over 90% of eczema patches have staph colonization.
Wow, 90%.
HOCl reduces that count, which reduces the itch.
What about acne? I've seen fungal acne trending on social media for like 6 months straight.
Fungal acne is real. It's caused by a yeast called Malassezia. Regular acne treatments like antibiotics can actually make fungal acne worse because they kill the good bacteria, keeping the yeast in check.
So you use a standard acne cream and your face gets worse. That is incredibly frustrating.
Right. HOCl is broad spectrum. It kills the bacteria causing regular acne and the fungus causing fungal acne. It doesn't discriminate.
It just clears the board.
It just clears the board.
Great.
Perfect for acne. That is caused by trapped moisture and bacteria. A quick spray of HOCl cleans the area without needing to wash your face at a sink in the middle of the workday.
There was one more weird one in the notes. Mold.
Mold exposure. This is fascinating. If you are sensitive to mold spores in the air, they can settle on your skin and cause a contact dermatitis reaction.
Like an allergic reaction.
Yes. HOCl neutralizes the protein allergens on the surface of the mold spore. It effectively deactivates the trigger on your skin.
That is wild. It's literally disarming the pollen or mold.
It breaks down the proteins that your body is reacting to.
Okay, I'm sold on the what and the why. Now I need the how. Because the Aero Organics report has a specific routine. And I feel like people mess this up. They just spray and pray.
The spray and pray method is common but inefficient. The source outlines a 7-step protocol. It sounds like a lot, but in reality, it takes about 30 seconds.
Walk me through it. Step 1.
Cleanse. You have to remove the physical debris, dead skin, dirt, lotions. If the skin is covered in old lotion, the HOCl can't reach the bacteria.
Makes sense. Gentle cleanser, pat dry.
Yep. Step 2, the lawyer step.
The patch test. Does anyone actually do this?
Nobody does it, and everyone should. Even though HOCl is bioidentical, the formulation might have other things, or your skin might just be hypersensitive.
Right.
Spray a nickel-sized amount on your inner arm. Wait 24 hours. If nothing happens, you're greenlit.
Okay, assume I survived the patch test. Step 3.
Application. Spray generously. You want to saturate the area. Don't be stingy with the mist. You want complete coverage.
Step 4, and this is the one I would get wrong.
Air dry.
I want to wipe it. My instinct is to wipe.
Wipe it. This is not a window cleaner. The molecule needs contact time. It needs to sit on the cell walls of the bacteria to do its work.
So I just stand there.
You stand there. It takes about 30 to 60 seconds to evaporate. Brush your teeth. Check your phone. Stare at yourself in the mirror and offer words of affirmation. Just let it dry naturally.
Okay. Step 5 and 6 seem connected.
They are. Once it is dry, you must moisturize. This is crucial. HOCl cleans and calms, but it is not an emollient. It doesn't add fat to the skin.
Okay.
If you have psoriasis, you need that barrier seal. So spray, air dry, then immediately lock it in with your heavy cream or oil.
So the HOCl kills the bugs, the cream repairs the wall.
Exactly. They are a team. Don't make them work alone.
And step 7.
Common sense. Keep it out of your eyes and mouth. It's safe, but it's not eye drops.
Fair enough. Cleanse, test, spray, air dry, moisturize.
It's simple.
Before we wrap up, I want to clarify one product thing. The report mentions Sorval. Is that just another HOCl brand?
No, good catch. Sorval is a zinc pyrithione spray. It's a different mechanism entirely.
Okay.
Zinc is better for physically exfoliating thick, heavy scales. The source suggests using something like Sorval for the heavy lifting of scales, getting that buildup off, and HOCl for the daily maintenance, redness reduction, and bacteria control.
So they are complementary. Sorval is the sandblaster, HOCl is the soothing rinse.
That's a good analogy. You might use the zinc product twice a week, but use the HOCl twice a day.
You know, taking a step back, this whole conversation feels different than our usual tech deep dives.
Yeah.
Usually we're talking about AI or some new synthetic polymer. It's going backwards.
It is. It's biomimicry.
Yeah. We spent 50 years inventing harsh chemicals to kill bacteria, antibiotics, tricholos, and bleaches. And now we're finding out that the best solution was already circulating in our blood vessels.
It really highlights a shift in medicine. We are moving away from fighting the body to equipping the body.
I like that.
The body knows how to heal. Sometimes it just runs out of ammo. HOCl is just restocking the ammo.
I love that. We aren't trying to outsmart millions of years of evolution. We're just giving it a boost.
Exactly.
So for everyone listening who was currently staring at a bottle of medicated shampoo and dreading their shower, maybe look into the science of what your own cells are doing. It might be the answer you've been looking for.
And it certainly smells better than coal tar.
That is a low bar, but a valid one. Thanks for taking this dive with us.
Always a pleasure.
See you next time.